Fight fans! Fight fans! Are you out there? Let me hear you roar, because it is Sunday night! Welcome to Sunday Night Fights. My name is Yoink, and I am joined by my co-host, Ami Politsifunk, and a special guest caster that we will announce in just a moment. But tonight, my friends, could be one of the final greatest nights in Sunday Night Fight history. Tonight we determine the winner of Contender Bout number 4. The winner of tonight's Best of 5 series will determine who takes our 4th and final spot in the Final 4 semifinals for the Sunday Night Fights Championship for Season 4. Before I go any further, I would like to introduce my co-host. You know him very well, Ami Politsifunk. Say hello to the world.
Hello world, what's up? Berlin coming at you here. I'm Ami Politsifunk. Yoink, man, this is the shiznit, Sepha and DevM. I couldn't have asked for a more dream fight card. 2 headliners for our last contender bout here. I can't believe that there's only 4 more episodes of SNF in front of us. After this, we go into the semifinals for the next 2 Sundays, and then the championship finals on January 27th, and that's it. This season will be all wrapped up, man. It's going to be nothing but hotness from here on in.
You know, I'm actually kind of disappointed. I'm kind of disappointed tonight that this is going to be a bad Sunday Night Fights for me because there can only be one winner. We're looking at Sepha, the king of basically Company of Heroes, one of the finest players ever. Some people say he is the finest player ever. And DevM, just the boy wonder from Portugal, who has made an appearance in just about every single episode of Sunday Night Fights that we have had, as he competes for this final slot in the Final 4, semifinals. And I'm really just going to be sad that only one of these guys can win. You know, this is going to be a great Best of 5 series, and it's going to be even better because we're joined by our 3rd shoutcaster for the night. You know him. You've seen him play. He's going to be in the semifinals. Give a big warm welcome to Mr. Aliaj, also known as Fireball. Say hello, Fireball.
Hey, guys.
Coming at us from Slovenia, right?
Yeah.
So, did you catch that we messed your flag up on the first rendition of your fight card? Did you see that?
Yeah, I did, but it's okay. I wasn't
No big deal? No? Okay, that's cool. Has that mistake been made before? Slovenia and Slovakia, mixing them up?
No, that was first.
Oh, sure.
Congratulations to Sunday Night Fight for making the first time we screwed up a national flag ever in the history. So we apologize, and as a way to say sorry, we invited you onto the show, and you can show your Slovenian pride and talk a little bit about these competitors who are going to be playing tonight. Do you have any thoughts about this great matchup between Sepha and DevM so far, Fireball?
I think that the games will be epic, but Seth's Wehrmacht is a bit rusty, so I think that them will win his US games with easy, but I'm counting on Seth's US play.
Did you just say he'll win with easy? You sound like Conrad.
Yep.
He owned him with easy. I'm gonna own you with easy.
Yeah, I did.
Maybe if NTD will take us over to the fight card so we can see these battlers that we're about to have display their wares for you tonight. Yeah, I'm glad you made it on the show. I don't know if you've done shoutcasts before, but you being here completes the cycle that we've had going where the winner of the previous week's contender bout is our guest caster on the next contender bout. So first we had Aimstrong, and then we had Symbiosis, and then of course last week we had who's our other qualifier?
Well, would call me Sarge last week.
Now we're having
yeah.
you. Well, no, now we're having you. So you're the 3rd. I thought there were 4. Of course, there can't be 4 yet because nobody's won yet. So I guess if we really, to complete the cycle, we would have to get the winner of tonight's bout to come on and shoutcast next week. But that's not going to be possible because they're going to be fighting against Aimstrong.
Yeah, we could get Simbi or Fire. We could get So well, we'll get somebody because Sunday Night Fights always brings. Maybe we'll get Quinn Duffy. Woo! Somebody like that to shoutcast with us. But I squealed like a little girl right there on me because I'm getting a little excited on my own. But yeah, let's talk about this fight card.
Yeah, here we have Sepha displayed on the left. I love his pose that he gave us this pic. It's really super cool. He looks like he's ready. He's got that classic 40s boxer's look in his eyes. And as you guys all know, or you should know, Sepha won the first ever Company of Heroes tournament #1. He also won tournament #12 about 2 or 3 years ago. And if he could win this, then he just has a string of Company of Heroes dominance that goes across 6 years. So, but he is the underdog. The top 4 seeds in this season's bouts were definitely Aimstrong, Symbiosis, DevM, and Fireball. Sepha's kind of a dark horse. DevM, he was like the #1 or #2 seed. He was the co-champion of Season 3 with Siberian Platoon. Both of them won 2 title fights. And so, the only guy that was able to oust DevM is sitting right next to us tonight, and that's Aliaj. But I'd say DevM going into this is the favorite. Call him the Portuguese Kid Wonder. He's been just shredding everybody lately. But, I wonder if Sepha looked back at the games, the contender bout in the second contender bout between Symbiosis and DevM to try to see how Simbi beat him. And I wonder if Sepha's going to try to replicate that performance tonight.
Well, I feel that watching DevM through this season of Sunday Night Fights, I've watched him grow so much. Back in November, he was beaten by Symbiosis, and that was a really tough loss for him. And then in December, he was beaten by Fireball. He was beaten by Aliaj, our caster today, and that was another really harsh loss for him. And then in late December, just last week, I want to say, no, that's right. Then he defeated Freestyler just a couple of weeks ago, and here he is now. Finally, we watched him grow. His games against Freestyler and also against Korean Army showed that he has an enormous amount of power in the first couple of minutes of the game. I mean, he likes to throw knockout punches. But then, his games against Freestyler, he had like such a long game. It was 30 minutes or longer, and he did a really great job. So maybe he's getting both power and endurance throughout his games. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do tonight with Seph.
I am too. I think we might be about ready to get into it. What do you think, Fireball? Should we get these games started? Give the fans what they demand, what they cry for?
Yeah, let's do this.
That's your cue, Yoink.
Right. Actually, I am experiencing a technical difficulty. My Company of Heroes just crashed. I have to reboot my Company of Heroes, so keep talking 1 second.
Oh, well, then I can interview Aliaj a little more. So, you didn't have any breakfast today. No, let's talk about qualifying last week against Titty Twister. He kind of was an unknown. How did you feel about those games after you played them?
I felt good because I won.
Okay, so did you prepare strategies for Argenton? Like, can we talk about the first map that we're going to see here? White Flash's custom map, Argenton Crossroads. Did you prepare a strategy for US or Wehrmacht?
I don't really have a strategy to play as US, but I really like it as Wehrmacht because I really like to extend, and this map is perfect for Wehrmacht to do this and play aggressive. That's why I love it so much as Wehrmacht.
And so, alright, well, so if Wehrmacht has an easier time, how do you approach this as US? Do you try to split the map north and south across that main road, or is it a necessity for the American faction to harass the graveyard area in the upper left?
Yeah, I try to harass the graveyard and at the same time to secure my right side down and the middle.
So maybe
as first rifle, yeah, I go for the VP victory point in the middle to make us to scout a bit and see what the opponent is doing. And
It's
Okay,
interesting.
Yoink's back. Thank God.
Welcome back. So you cap the center VP just to get that ring of line of sight, so you can watch the Wehrmacht troops moving across the middle. Very nice stuff.
yeah. And then
All right,
you
Yoink.
usually press the
Graveyard area. All right, well, we'll see. Sepha won the coin toss, so he will play allies first. Win it or lose it. I guess maybe he lost it, considering Wehrmacht's record on Argenton. In the SNF games, it's a little lopsided. I think maybe 70% have been won by Wehrmacht, but in the qualifier games, it's a little closer, I think, but Wehrmacht still wins about 60% on Argenton. If NTD could take us in, Yoink, you about ready to get this thing rolling? I'm going to hand it over to you guys.
Yeah, it'll be, I'll take this first game with Alliage, and we'll see what Sepha's Americans can do on Argenton Crossroads.
All right, take it away. I'll be back for game 2. See you guys later. Good luck, have fun.
All right, thanks, Ami. We'll see you in just a few minutes. Okay, Alliage, here's what we're going to do. I am ready at 5 seconds on the game clock. Are you queued up at 5 seconds, right, on this first game of this best-of-5 match between DevM and Sepha?
Yep.
Okay, if our cameraman and director NTD, he will show us, which he is, I'm looking at, he is showing us the game map. I will get this game started here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start. And the clock is ticking at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And forgive me, forgive my manners, Alliage, which side would you like to follow as this game begins here in its first minute? Would you like to follow DevM's Wehrmacht or Sepha's Americans in the south?
I would like to follow the Sepha's Americans.
Okay, then I will continue to follow DevM in the north as he starts here with a pretty standard opening here for the Wehrmacht. It's 2 Pioneers start building his barracks, and I'm sorry, the Wehrmacht quarters, and a Volksgrenadier is coming out. So, I heard you talking with Ami as I was rebooting my Company of Heroes that crashed, which was very embarrassing, I'm sorry, about this map and how you like to scout out through the center here and then move to the left with the graveyard. You know, this map was created by a guy named White Flash, part of the Reborn clan. It's one of our favorite maps for this tournament so far, that along with Bois du Châtelet that we've been showcasing here, custom maps for this last tournament of Company of Heroes. Do you feel that this map is something could become a classic, just like Angeville and Semois? Do you feel it's that good?
Yeah, but I think that the Wehrmacht faction has a bit advanced here on this map.
And that's because of the amount of cover or the way that it's laid out? Well, give me your thoughts on that.
Yeah, because it's pretty similar to Angeville. So each player is on one side and yeah, it's similar to Angeville, so I think that it should become classic, as you said.
That's perfect. That's great. Yeah, I understand. It falls very easily to a 50-50 matchup. Either side is viable. Now here we're seeing our first engagement up in the north. We've got some engineers and pioneers going at it. These two men now realize that they found each other on the map. I just noticed from DevM that he built Volksgrenadiers and an MG42. Here come these first Volksgrenadiers to try and engage these engineers. Now we have a classic matchup. 1 fighter unit and 1 worker unit. These engineers are going to go down real fast, and now these Volksgrenadiers, DevM is going to try and use them at long range with these Pioneers to back them up in case these rifles charge. And here is that MG42 trying to shoot at these rifles that are just falling back, and this Jeep now has come to the rescue. Perhaps Seph thought he was going to do some Jeep pushing of those Volksgrenadiers, but I think that would have been a bad choice considering that MG42 was backing them up. So this is going to be a slight backpedal for the Americans as the Wehrmacht now continues to hold and gather strength in the north part of the field. So we're looking at a Volks MG combo for DevM. What do you think about that, Alliage, in these first couple of minutes?
I think it's his or usual build order, and as usual he's aggressive with it.
And for Seph, do you think we're going to see a lot of Jeep pushing? Because we all know that the Jeep is one of the integral parts of a Tier 1 build. Although looking at what DevM has built, he has pushed a Schwimmwagen onto the field. So we might see more Tier 1 combat like we did last week, Tier 1 vehicle combat on Sunday Night Fights, which is always very amusing, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so now long-range combat under green cover here for DevM as he engages these riflemen. Looks like Sepha is just trying to stall. Here comes this Jeep up to engage. I don't think it's going to try and push with the Schwimmwagen MG42 combo, backing it up. Now we have Americans from all sides moving up. This Wehrmacht force is kind of condensed right by the strap point, and here now riflemen in the chapel. Great position, no flamers with which to eject them. Flamers actually on the American team can garrison that building, offering a lot of long-range flaming power, but I think that now DevM has moved his troops safely beyond the range of anything that the Americans have at that point. And now we're getting that Jeep repaired, and both men looking a little bit cautious about wanting to engage too heavily this early. I think they both know that they're dealing with a very, very solid opponent. So look at how both of them are dancing around just at maximum range of both of their troops, using these Tier 1 vehicles to scout and provide a line of sight for the rest of the troops. This squad of engineers in this house is beyond firing range with its flamer, so basically it's just going to be taking some damage there from this MG42 fire. So now it looks like, you know, I'm looking at map control here. It's fallen pretty solidly in favor of the Americans, but if you'll notice, we've got actually, it was disconnected down there in the south, but it looks like now Sepha is reconnecting most of his territory down south. So this is going to be a little bit of a problem for DevM. He needs to take some territory back if he wants to continue. We go some Schwimmwagen pushing.
That's why I don't like going top as Wehrmacht on the graveyard, because there is just too much of green cover and MGs won't work.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. Certainly a lot of green cover does not allow for MGs to suppress as much as they would normally. Now we've seen two MG42s for DevM. This can very easily cover the center section here. One fires one way, one fires the other. Volksgrenadiers clumped together in yellow cover allows them to fire at maximum range. This is an interesting strategy here from DevM. He's trying to keep riflemen at maximum range here so the Volksgrenadiers can do their work. However, a squad of riflemen coming down from the north trying to engage that MG42, but look at how that Schwimmwagen was able to just push them away and give that MG42 time to set up and face to the north. Now it's packed up and it's... Okay, so now we're going to see a much stronger army from the Americans here as riflemen engage at long range from behind green cover. There's these Volks have been taking a lot of hits. They're both down, two guys. They've been taking fire backed up by those MG42s, but I don't know how much longer they're going to be able to stay on the field if barred riflemen are going to be floating around for the next couple of minutes. Looking at DevM's base, I don't see any tech choices yet. I see he has 94 in the bank. I don't know if NTD was able to catch a tech upgrade, if he went to Tier 2 or not. I'm guessing no, being that he still has so much fuel. He doesn't have a whole lot of income. I think he needs to think about doing something about that right now. Here comes that MG42 right off the field. Looks like all German forces in the north now moving off the field. Their understrength versus riflemen is just a death sentence. We're seeing some more combat now in the south, too. It looks like he's up. DevM has upgraded one of his pioneer squads to minesweepers, which is good, being that most of his troops are under strength. They step on a mine, he's going to lose the whole squad. I also see that DevM has bought a sniper. This is going to do very well for him if he expects Seph to stay with a very infantry-heavy build. He can really start doing a lot of good sniper work, especially because he saw bars, which means he won't be seeing weapons support center. I guess that would be
so just lost
guess.
a rifle.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just heard NTD say there's a rifle squad going.
Yeah,
where did that
he
happen?
lost a rifle. He lost a mine and sniper.
Ah, very good. Well,
and they ran through mine.
Okay, so this is a problem. If you're investing heavily in riflemen early on in the game with bars and God knows what other kind of upgrades, losing one is disastrous. We saw, I think it was maybe Freestyler had invested heavily against with barred rifles against DevM in last week's game, and then he was down to like only 2 rifle squads at some point. Oh, down goes the Jeep! Sepha's Jeep went down to MG42 fire in the north. Oh, that's not good. Here we go, rifles maybe coming around to try and flank and avenge that Jeep death. Those Volksgrenadiers have to retreat. They're in danger of dying on retreat. Here we go. Riflemen desperately trying to shoot at them, while they themselves under fire from double snipers and a Schwimmwagen. Double snipers. What kind of damage can that do to an American team that invests heavily in infantry, Aliage? What do you think?
Sorry? I didn't hear it.
If Dev has purchased 2 snipers, so DevM, you know, he's going very much against, you know, taking anti-infantry capabilities of his army to the maximum. So do we think that maybe he's betting that Sepha is going to stay with riflemen for a good part of the game and try and build his army around that?
Yeah, that's pretty standard self-play these days. And also he lost a rifle, and DevM has 2 snipers now, so no matter how the map looks, DevM should feel pretty confident.
Well, I was just going to say that. Can you give me a count of how many rifle squads Sepha has right now?
He has 3 rifles, and he's building a supply yard now. He just finished it.
Okay.
Hey, could I jump in and bother you guys to maybe pause or get NTD to either swap who he's following or swap the colors on the overlay?
Yeah, sure. Let's do a time sync real quick here. We're at 9:57, 58, 59, 10 minutes, 10:01, 10:02, 10:03. We're good. Okay.
Nice. Thanks, dudes.
No problem. So, you know, I'm really, like you had just said, DevM should feel comfortable with what he's got right now, and I agree, because he played his game very cool early on in the beginning, even though the map had fallen pretty much in favor of the Americans. DevM kept his cool, and he built his army the way he wanted it to look, and now he's got a very formidable force, 2 MG42s, 2 snipers, 2 Volks, a Schwimmwagen, and some Pioneers. This is going to be very, very challenging for Seph to crack at this point with only 4 riflemen, especially since he lost one of them. Now that Dev has Vet 1 on his infantry and Vet 1 on his support units, means that these snipers and these MG42s are going to be really, really powerful versus rifles. Vet 1 on MG42s means that they suppress 25% faster. So, as you were saying early on, Fireball, about how the north part of the map has a lot of green cover and stuff, could be bad for the Americans or whatever, I'm not sure. These MG42s are going to become even stronger as the game goes along.
Okay, Seph just got an M8.
Okay, so here's our shock unit that we've talked about before. I think that Seph is going to be very well served by pushing this M8 as fast as possible into German territory, provided he's not scared of mines. He has already been stung pretty hard by a couple of mines already this game. So once he upgrades this M8, it's going to have about 3 or 4 minutes of complete dominance on the field. And here it is, making first contact with the enemy over on the left-hand side in the graveyard. I would like to see Seph push this right in, and see here, you know, I think Seph may see this engineer squad, I'm sorry, a pioneer squad laying mines right behind this Volksgrenadier. Perhaps he's betting that Seph is going to really try and push that M8 into the face of the Volksgrenadier and perhaps run around and hit that mine, although it looks like Seph is not taking the bait. He's going to stay at long range and annihilate these Volks as they desperately try to hide behind this concrete wall. Some flamers came up to try and engage. They had to retreat, but Seph being cautious with that M8 at this point, I'm betting he either sees that mine or he knows mines are in this area, because you know, German forces have been here for quite some time. It's 12 minutes into the game. Germany has, you know, DevM has pretty much held this area consistently through this time, so it's probably riddled with mines. I'm not seeing anything on the field yet that DevM has in terms of anti-vehicle. I do see a PaK-38 now creeping up slowly under cloak towards that M8, although it's stopped now. I think maybe he's waiting to kite it in.
Enemy unit down.
I just saw riflemen drop on top of a mine. Down goes the Schwimmwagen as well. So still, Seph unwilling to cross into German territory to try and take out German positions there. Now he's feeling a little bit better that he scouted the whole area with those minesweepers, and he feels a little bit more comfortable engaging. He's hiding behind that church. I don't know if he saw the PaK-38 fire. He knows it's on the other side of that little chapel. But, oh, he's laying an M8 mine right in front of that chapel. I don't know if DevM saw it or not, but that thing, or did he drop it? I guess he did. Oh, he did drop it.
Yeah,
right
he did.
there under the flowers. Yeah, I see it. Okay, now the Pac-38 has revealed itself, taking a couple of good shots. Oh boy, damaged engine. Now M8 is in danger of going down. Down it goes. Final shot from the Pac-38. Oh boy, that was a great play by DevM. You know what? I think Seph, he got a lot of use out of that M8 while he had it, but yikes, that was a pretty hard loss.
Yeah, Seph just bought a WSC, and he's getting another M8.
Okay, so he's probably frustrated with the double sniper action that DevM has been pushing on him all game now. 13 minutes in, I should say 14 minutes in now, just crossing the 14-minute mark. Victory points are 476 to 376 right now. So the path to victory is not yet through victory points, but we'll see how that ends up a little bit later on in the game. 2 victory points controlled by the Portuguese boy Wonder. Looks like there's really been no contention at all in the center or right side of the field. Really, I haven't seen any combat down there unless our cameraman NTD caught it while I was furiously shoutcasting in another part of the map.
Yeah, Seph should definitely split Dev's units and push on the right side.
Okay, well, we are seeing a push right now over here. We've got that second M8 that has shown up. Now, engaging right behind these wood piles. Oh, down goes a rifle squad, though, right in front of the M8. Oh, my gosh, and it dropped the bar. I think that one of these German troops is going to be very well served by picking up that bar. Perhaps that M8 is just going to try and sit on top of it, preventing any sort of pickup. He's like, no, bar belongs to us. I'm just going to roll over it, but nope, those Grenadiers managed to run on top of it. Pick it up, and M8 mine has been dropped. Right there. Oh my gosh, enormous loss. Down goes the Grenadier squad. Oh, there was so much friendly fire and casualties there. I saw bodies going in every direction. That Volks Grenadier is now going to try and escape with his life. One guy left. How far does Seph want to chase? Oh, and he took it. Well played. This is the break that Seph needed. 2 entire German squads felled, and I think they were armed with bars. Oh no, here's that Grenadier squad. I guess it didn't go down, but it might now. If Seph can just kite this guy right back into the base, it's going to go, oh, looks like he may be able to escape. Seph's going to do some scouting while he's here. Let's take one more shot at that Grenadier squad, and, oh, down it goes. Okay, so the noose has been closed on the right-hand side. American forces solidly winning that engagement with the dropping of just 50 munitions from the tail end of that M8. I counted a Volks Grenadier squad and a Grenadier squad that went down, right?
Yeah, Seph lost on the rifle.
Boy, this is bloody play on Sunday Night Fights tonight. This is, what, 2 squads, maybe 3 squads lost for Seph, 2 squads lost for Dev. Normally, high-level players, obviously, you don't ever want to lose a single squad. It's inevitable. It'll eventually happen, but in the first 16 minutes here, we've seen some pretty brutal combat. This M8 escapes just fine to push south into American territory to try and hopefully get rescued by American forces. Here comes that engineer squad to repair it. Did Seph put a sniper on the field yet?
He's about to.
Now, I'm not seeing a whole lot of units in Seph's army right now. Can you give me a unit count for him?
Oh yeah, he has 1 engineer squad, 1 rifle, sniper, and M8.
Okay, so this is not good. Certainly, the German army, DevM's Wehrmacht, is an enormous force on the north side of the field. I mean, he's looking at rocking here 9 units, so he almost has a 2-to-1 unit count over Seph at this point. He's holding on to all 3 victory points. I think at this point, this is going to be a big problem here for Seph. He needs to figure out how to start taking units back onto the field and eliminating German forces without any losses of his own. This is going to be a real challenge. I think running 1 rifle squad into the graveyard here is probably not the best way to do it. He's able to push off that MG42. Maybe he's looking for that Pac-38 up there. But while these Bard Riflemen still are more than a match for Grenadiers toe-to-toe at maximum range like this, I don't think that he can make the kind of pushing that he is trying to do with just the force that he has right now. I think that there are some German mines that he's going to walk right into. Oh my gosh! Oh, now he's got to retreat all of his units off the field. Well-placed mine. That's like one of the favorite mine placement spots for any player who plays Argentine Crossroads, because everybody tries to sneak around the graveyard right at that point. As you can see already, there's so many craters right at that area. so far. So we're looking at teching choices also in DevM's base. I'm seeing a Panzer Command now going up. No doctrine choice yet from the Portuguese Wonder. What has Sepha chosen as his doctrine?
His infantry.
Okay, so
He
artillery
went
sound?
for off-map.
Okay, so off-map artillery, that would make sense at this point. It's a favorite for players who want to, you know, drop a whole lot of
but he's
artillery.
also
obviously.
floating manpower and fuel. He could get a sniper or a rifleman.
Is he? He couldn't possibly be that close to off-map combat group yet, right?
No, because he went for RT side.
Right, of course. That's what you said. I missed that first part. Okay, so I believe that Sepha has revealed his sniper. I saw him take a shot, I think, at German forces right where those two snipers were floating.
Ready to go.
You know, I don't think DevM is going to fall for any sort of bait. This is going to be a tough knife fight between these two guys. They probably realize... Oh, now I just saw DevM take a shot with his sniper. So he's playing around, thinking that he can possibly bait out Seph's sniper as well. I don't know if Seph guesses that one or two snipers are there. It's a little moment of quiet here as these three units sort of dance around each other. It's sniper play. When you engage opponents with it, Aliage, what does it just leave you edge of your seat when you're fighting, or do you just kind of keep it cool when you use your sniper?
No, I definitely don't keep it cool. I don't know how to play with snipers well. I'm too aggressive with them. So that's why
Well,
I always lose sniper fights.
Well, these two guys are experts with their snipers. Now we're seeing double fire from DevM. He's really, you know, he's taken a classic sniper attitude of one shot and then moving and then, you know, keeping them cloaked. One of those snipers fired a little bit longer than it should have and revealed itself. Now here comes this M8 to engage German forces all by itself without any support whatsoever. I don't see a PaK-38 anywhere, so the only way that this M8 is going to go down is through Shrek fire. And you know what? Dev better retreat quick, because this he may lose this Grenadier squad. Run! Grenadier squad, run! Now this M8 is by itself out here with no anti-vehicle capabilities for the German forces to try and take care of it. It's got the run of the field, but again, Seph, I think, is playing it a little bit safe. He doesn't want to do anything too crazy and lose another M8. Dev's laying some mines over there in the corner, right behind the wood pile. And here comes Mr. Ostwind. Didn't even see him come out of the German base, but it's going to go face-to-face with this M8. That main gun on that Ostwind is powerful, and it can penetrate light armor, no problem. This M8 is going to go down. Perhaps Seph is going to try and drop a mine right in front of it. I don't think it has a chance. And down goes that M8. Now Sepha is in big, big trouble. What can he do at this point?
I don't
Aliage,
know
what
why
do you think?
he's building howitzer. That's, I don't know
Germans are seizing
why
territory from us.
he should get an 18 biggest, which
Well,
is doing
certainly
now.
what's... Yeah, okay, the motor pool. He's got motor pool units building, I see there. He's got troops all over the German left side of the field. He snuck a rifle squad way up behind to the north to try and come down and cap that strat point, but I don't think that's necessarily the right thing for him to do at this point. You know, sneaking around and decapping points is just going to cause him losses, especially with the size of the German army on the field. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13 units now that DevM is microing all along an enormous front that is collapsing on American forces as they try desperately to push forward. I don't think that... I think that the unit count here is overwhelmingly in favor of DevM. I mean, he's just got so many units. He can cover the entire field, where Seph can only push in one place at a time.
Casualties being reported.
Flamer squad goes down.
Also the victory points for Seph are running a bit low.
Yeah, and you know what? Now we're seeing a Panzer IV on the map as well. So even if there was one AT gun, which just I saw popped out of the motor pool, being able to try and take on two pieces of heavy German armor with one AT gun and almost no rifles is just not the way to go. You've got Ostwinds on the right, Panzer IVs on the left. This is the classic situation of being between a rock and a hard place. And now we've got Mr. Sniper here all the way on the left, about to be eaten up Oh, what? Who's dropping? Is this Seph dropping? Oh, yeah, he's
this is
dropping
off one.
artillery.
Sniper killed an
That was a good little ploy to retreat units off the field, have them surround the sniper, and then retreat. Didn't cause any damage, but did waste time for DevM. Now he's got to move troops all the way back into his base.
57 mil at your service.
Alright, so looks like we got prop war from DevM. He finally chose terror, and he just pushed a whole bunch of riflemen back into American territory that way, all the way back to the base. Here we go with a Panzer IV taking some side shots from that AT gun, but it's Vet 1, doesn't have to worry, can scoot right around that hedgerow to safety.
Seph also lost a sniper to P4 while retreating.
Oh, sniper to retreat. That's... you know, I think that he's just lost too many units now at this point to try and even make a comeback. You know, he has a minimal amount of units on the field, one AT gun. I don't even know what kind of his manpower income he's got, but I mean, DevM's looking great. He can lose multiple units and still have a commanding lead on the field.
Taking fire here!
That would be the other thing that I didn't really notice this whole time, is that VPs were ticking down. Okay, so we have our first win of this best of 5 series. DevM takes it with 476 victory points and an enormous Wehrmacht army on the field. There are 4 more games possibly to play between these two guys. I think that this is going to be a great series. Seph, normally though, wouldn't you say, Aliaj, he's really good with Americans. What do you think so far with the showing he's got in Game 1?
He did a good, he had a good early game, but then he started losing the riflemen, and that cost him the game. He just lost too many units.
Yeah, well, now we can see in the next game what DevM can do with the American team and what side Sepha will pick if he will engage his Wehrmacht. You said he was a little rusty. We'll see if he's been practicing. So if our cameraman and director NTD can roll that video, Axis wins. We will be back right after this with Game 2.